My name is Martin. I'm 84 years old.
People think I'm crazy when I tell them how old I am.
I'd like to be normal.
I just have a sickness.
The only way I can survive is by drinking blood.
Oh yeah, I tell you something. You may not understand, but I'm a thirsty vampire. I want to bite your head. Sure. I want to bite your head. I want to bite your head.
Good evening. My name is Christian Devine, and we're going to retro view George A. Romero's cult classic, Martin, from 1977 in 4K, which is amazing and definitely proof that we're living in a golden age, or a blue age as I say, of physical media, despite the fact that streaming services are proving to be exactly the far too ephemeral depositories that many of us thought. And there's nothing wrong with streaming, because I stream lots of things because I don't need to own any more shit than I need to own, and I'm always have the attitude, as I've stated, of quality over quantity. It's nice to have both, but I'll take the quality, and streaming's fine for many films and audio and games. There's lots of things I don't need to own everything, and a 4K or HD version of The Sting is going to suffice for me, because I don't really want to own The Sting, but I might want to watch it. So boom, just like certain other movies that I might not want to own, but I might want to watch. But I do want to own George A. Romero's Martin, because it's a special film, and of course they've done an incredible job. Second Sight, the company, who also released the magnificent version of Dawn of the Dead, which I have down there in the box set. And it's been restored in 4K, supervised and approved by director of photography Michael Gornick, presented in HDR, and with an audio commentary by George Romero, John Amplis, and Tom Savini. Another audio commentary by Romero, Richard Rubinstein, the producer Tom Savini, Michael Gornick, and Donald Rubinstein. And new audio commentary by Kat Ellinger and Travis Crawford, and a whole new documentary, and lots more. I'm not going to read the whole damn thing, but it's completely worth it. It's fantastic. And it's a very disturbing movie. And I'd grown up hearing about it and seeing it, pictures in magazines, horror, monster magazines, Fangtastic, etc. And then it was included in the fantastic and highly influential Cult Films series by Danny Perry. And he has really wonderful explications and analysis of films, and he seems to always hit these elements of it that are there, that maybe other people don't seem to notice. But the Cult Movies books are lionized by those who have them in their collection, and that's a whole other subject for retro review, actually. So this film was shot in 16mm in Pennsylvania, and basically the plot is about a young man who has these kind of fantasias of a past life, but he's also a blood drinker, and so he assaults various people in this kind of modernistic way to get at their blood, not using teeth but a syringe. And he's living with his grandfather, who suspects him of being a vampire. And he's surrounded by this kind of, lower middle class, lower working class community. And it's an interesting combination of horror movie and 70s naturalistic docudrama. And that's kind of what's brilliant about it, because you feel really the tangible sense of this Pennsylvania town and the palpable cultural aura of these lives and rooms and it's not a horror movie in the typical sense, and there's what I love about it and others love is it's not quite explained about Martin. Is Martin really a vampire, or is he just insane? It's hard to say, and that's what's brilliant about it. Of course, the film features wonderful effects by Tom Savini, who also appears in the film in a really nice little performance. When I was a kid, I had Tom Savini's fantastic makeup book because I was very interested in special effects makeup, and I was kind of dabbling in a lot of things. Renaissance monster kid, trying to figure out what was going to stick. But I loved doing, little gruesome special effects for my movies, and so I duplicated the razor blade effect that's used in this film. An incredibly simple effect that's amazing. And kids do not try that effect at home. You have to read his book to learn how to do it. These are very simple effects in theory, but in execution, Savini, creates them brilliantly, and they're very disturbing. The film is disturbing. I guess you could say Romero to me is an equal opportunity offender, and so I never get the sense that he's ever trying to titillate or turn people on with even with his violence. It's such comic book violence. This violence is a little more real, and like I said, the tone of the film is more like a documentary in a way, and very naturalistic. And even though it does have that kind of raw, ragged quality that a lot of Romero films have, and it's Romero's strength and kind of his weakness, is that he'll go into directions that other filmmakers wouldn't, but then sometimes there's a sense of that, this could be tightened up or made to look better, or maybe a little more professional, even though he's the most professional filmmaker out there. That's just his style. And so there's a lot of nice, conversational scenes, and some that are really well acted, some that are not so well acted. I'm very forgiving of this kind of filmmaking, especially from a 70s low budget, lo-fi perspective. Romero has a very amusing cameo as a priest, as a kind of modern Catholic priest who digs The Exorcist. And John Amplis, a young actor who Romero found, I think, in a theater, doing some theater. He's fantastic, and I'm glad at the very least that he's got this as a legacy to his work. Not every actor gets to, have a, big, long, great, successful career. Some people only do a few movies, and that's just the way. There's no guarantees in art. It doesn't mean you're not doing other things. It doesn't mean that's how you judge things. And so John Amplis should be very proud that this is his legacy. And again, Tom Savini's great effects and the beginning of a really great relationship, obviously, with George Romero. So I just wanted to, put this out there, to pick this up, to support Second Sight, support these amazing genre releases in 4K. While they're pulling movies off streaming left and right, you can pick up one of the great 70s horror classics. And I highly recommend the film, and you won't regret having it, and you'll probably want to revisit a couple times. So like I said, it is disturbing, and it's intended to be, but it's not to be exploitive, if that makes any sense. Romero, I think, is a very classy filmmaker, no matter what level of kind of grue and gore he's dabbling in. And he's got such a kind of gentle comic book sensibility about things, but he also has a very real sense of drama and knows when to not pull punches. So that's my retro review of the Second Sight 4K disc of Martin. And you can pick this up at all of your fine local online stores, and maybe some even local stores like Amoeba here in San Francisco. So let me know what you think of the film, what your thoughts are, and what you think of the picture quality, which once again I should briefly say is this is shot very low budget, and there's only so much you can do with some of these films. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things is another. And so we're very fortunate to have this restored to probably the best it's ever going to look. And it's fine. It is what it is. You know, form follows function. It's not supposed to be, you know, blown up to super 4K, beautiful 35 millimeter. It's 16 millimeter. And the most amazing thing, and of course that sadly it's not on this disc, is that somebody found George Romero's preferred cut of Martin, which is, I believe, 20 minutes longer and has more black and white and other things. 20 minutes is a lot of footage. It may not sound immediately like a lot, but it is. 20 minutes can be critical. It can create almost a different film. I don't know that that's the case, but apparently they could not get the rights for this, and that's an ongoing process. That would be a shame, an aesthetic crime to not have that be released, to not have somebody sweep that up and have that lovingly restored and release that, because that would be a major sinecure. So once again, thank you for viewing, and please like and subscribe if you want, and please comment and let me know what you think of George A. Romero's
Martin.
I want to bite your ass.